So if you're like me and you're always on the lookout for the best stocks to invest in, then you've probably already seen one of these types of videos on YouTube. Some of the biggest finance/investing/stock YouTubers make videos claiming to know the best stocks to invest in every month or year or so, and usually with some sort of clickbaity title like high growth or best returns, or even Will Moon 10x potential fast returns. And if you're like me, it's got you wondering, do these stock guru YouTubers even know what they're actually talking about? Are they actually doing the proper due diligence and recommending the best stocks to buy at that specific time, giving you the highest return on your investment? Or are they just finding these articles online of best stocks to buy and repurposing those into new YouTube videos and not doing any actual investment due diligence of their own? Well, in this first video of its kind, we're gonna find out whether you, as a stock investor, would have made more money investing into the stocks that your favorite finance YouTubers recommend, or whether you would have made more money by following traditional advice and investing regularly into a stock market index fund, which will basically give you the average return of the stock market. So in this video, we're gonna cover the stock market recommendations made by Andrei Jikh, Chang, Jeremy from Financial Education, and Stock Moe. And I'm going to actually analyze the stock market data on Microsoft Excel and find out which of these YouTubers make good stock recommendations, if any at all. And side note, it took me like 5 hours to do all of this analysis on top of the 10 hours it usually takes me to produce these kind of videos. So please give the video a like and subscribe to my channel so the YouTube algorithm will push my video a bit more to more viewers. And then hopefully I can pull more than my usual 50 views that my small YouTube channel gets. Okay. So now let's look at one of the biggest finance personalities on this platform, Andrei Jikh. You probably know him for his magic tricks and his insanely high quality video production. In the past year, his channel is focused on cryptocurrency, but before that, he would mostly talk about investing in stocks. So the video we're going to be looking at is this one here, the best stocks of 2021. So the first thing I had to do was watch the video all the way through to find what stocks Andrei is recommending you to buy. In this case, it was Chevron, Exxon, Square, PayPal, Shopify, and Coinbase. Then the next thing I had to do was download the stock market price data for each one of these stocks starting from the date the video was uploaded, which is January 2021, since that's the time when Andrei is actually recommending you buy the stocks, all the way until now, which is July 2021. This way, we can plot out the price data month to month on a graph and find out the total return you would have made if you bought the stocks at the time when Andrei made the video and held the stocks for 6 months until today. And I know it's only 6 months worth of data, and I would have preferred if it was all of 2021, since these are apparently the best stocks to buy for 2021. So we still have 6 months to go, but this will have to do. I'm afraid I can't wait another 6 months to make the video. Okay, so after getting the stock market data in order, now we have to calculate the percentage the stocks change in price month to month compared to the price of the stock in January. We do this by dividing the price of the stock that month by the starting price in January and subtracting 1 to make it into a percentage change. So these numbers are the total return you would have made by the month if you had bought the stock in January and held it, which means these numbers for the final month of July is the return you would have made from owning the stock from the time Andrei made the recommendations up until today. So if you bought Chevron stock when Andrei recommended it, you would now have made a 16% gain on your money. And if you bought Exxon, you would have made a massive 28% return. Square stock would have made you 10%, PayPal 26%, Shopify 31%, and if you bought Coinbase, which Andrei recommended you buy when it debuted on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange back in April, then you would have made a pitiful -5% on your investment. Overall, we have 5 stocks that performed very well in the last 6 months. And Coinbase, which did poorly due to the crypto crash that happened recently. And so the total return across the 7 stocks since the time Andrei made his best stocks of 2021 video is 17.5%. And you might be wondering, is that a good return? Is that a bad return? How can we know? Well, what we can do is compare it to the S&P 500, which is a collection of 500 of the biggest and best stocks in the US stock market. This is what a lot of investors use as a gauge of how well the overall stock market is performing. Think of the S&P 500 return as an average return of the stock market. So if we download the S&P 500 price data, calculate the monthly returns like before, and then plot a graph against Andrei's stock returns, we can compare who performed better, Andrei Jikh or the S&P 500. And the answer to that is Andrei performed better.
Back at home in Ireland, he's delivering delivers another big lift.
He outperformed the S&P 500 just slightly overall, as the S&P 500 has returned 16.6% since the start of the year, compared to Andrei's 17.5%. You can see on the graph that Andrei was actually on track to far outperform the S&P 500 until Coinbase took a dive in June when crypto prices collapsed. Okay, so now let's move on to our next finance YouTuber, and that's Chang. He's a personal finance YouTuber whose channel blew up from these top stocks of the month videos. They all get hundreds of thousands of views, so if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you've seen one of his. I'm going to focus on the most viewed video on his channel, which is the 6 top stocks to buy in January 2021. High growth. Because of course you have to add high growth in the title just so people know that there's not going to be any low growth stocks in this video, or perhaps even negative growth stocks. I think you can see where this is going. So Charlie's 6 top stocks of January 2021 are Palantir, Apple, Tattooed Chef, Baidu, PayPal, and Costco. And since the time that Charlie made this video, Palantir has returned negative 39%, Apple 11%, Tattooed Chef negative 14%, Baidu negative 24%, and PayPal 26%, and Costco 16%, for an overall average return of negative 1%. And once again, if we graph these returns and benchmark them against the S&P 500, we can of course see that Charlie's stocks haven't performed too well so far. So much for high growth, huh? And that's mostly due to poor performance of Palantir, Baidu, and Tattooed Chef stock that have all decreased in value since January 2021. So now let's move on to our next YouTuber, which is Jeremy from Financial Education. He's one of the OGs in the personal finance space here on YouTube, starting over 5 years ago and having made over 1,400 videos on his main channel, as well as 450 videos on his second channel and 200 videos on his third channel. I sorted his main channel for his most popular videos so that I could find the most viewed stock recommendation video he has, which was this one, 3 stocks I'm buying now, January 2021. In this video, he talks about the fundamentals of why he thinks these particular stocks are going to do so well in 2021. His number 1 stock buy was Tattooed Chef, which is one of the stocks Chang also recommended that you buy in January. So I guess you could say things aren't looking too good so far for Jeremy. He also talked about buying Walgreens Booth Alliance, MicroStrategy, Dropbox, and Shopify, which is 5 stocks total, so I don't know why this video is called 3 stocks he is buying. Maybe it makes for a better title or something, I don't know. Anyway, since the time Jeremy made this video, Tattooed Chef has returned negative 14%, Walgreens Booth Alliance negative 8%, MicroStrategy negative 15%, Dropbox 33%, and Shopify 31%. So it looks like the tech companies here were definitely Jeremy's best picks. Overall, these stocks returned an average of 5%. And graphing this average return against the S&P 500, we can clearly see that the S&P 500 beat out Jeremy's stocks quite substantially. But at least you still made money if you invested in these stocks. Sorry, Charlie. Okay, so now let's move on to the last finance YouTuber, and that is Stock Moe. I haven't really seen this guy's videos, but he has 500,000 subscribers, and he says he's a retired financial educator, and also used to be a financial advisor and stockbroker. So I once again sorted for his most popular videos and found this one. Best stock to buy now, 2021. In this video, he makes stock recommendations for Rocket, NIO, and Tesla. So after crunching the numbers, I found that since the time he made this video, Rocket has returned negative 19%, NIO has returned negative 25%, and Tesla has returned negative 19%. And the average return of these stock picks came out to negative 21%. Stock Moe definitely had big expectations for the electric vehicle sector with his Tesla and NIO picks, but the whole industry hasn't done so well in the first half of 2021. And Stock Moe, sorry for doing you like this, but I had to go ahead and plot your stock pick returns on a graph alongside the S&P 500, and it ain't looking too good. But anyways, I just wanted to close out this video with a few final important messages about what to make of this whole analysis video. First of all, I don't want anyone that I mentioned in this video getting any sort of negativity just because their stock picks didn't perform as well as they had anticipated. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's sort of entertaining to poke fun at them for making bad stock picks, but it doesn't mean that they don't give great advice or are bad investors. I'm sure that if you're new to investing, you would learn so much and be financially better off by watching any of these guys' channels. In this case, they're just giving their personal opinions and making a case for their stocks. And at the end of the day, even the smartest investors can't be right every time. And just because Andrei Jikh picked stocks that went up 17.5% versus Stock Moe that picked stocks that went down 21% doesn't mean that you should hold more weight to Andrei's investing advice versus Stock Moe. Because as well as the fact that nobody can predict exactly what a stock is going to do, there are also so many limitations to the analysis I just performed. I mean, I only analyzed the returns of just a handful of stocks from one video for only 6 months, which is hardly enough data to determine if these YouTubers are recommending good investments. However, I do hope that this video showed you that you shouldn't probably listen to YouTubers blindly and just invest in a stock because you saw it on one of their top stock pick videos. If your investment strategy is to watch Charlie Chang's top stock pick videos every month and only invest in those stocks, then you're probably doing it wrong. And in the case that Andrei actually slightly outperformed the S&P 500, that could have just been due to pure luck. You're still much better off investing into an S&P 500 index fund, where you have the benefit of having your investment be diversified over hundreds of great stocks. And that's something you don't get by just investing into a handful of YouTuber stock picks. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video entertaining, and if you enjoyed it, please let me know down in the comments below and I'll make many more. And if there's any YouTubers that I missed out on or that you think would make for a good analysis into their stock picks, add that in the comments too. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.